Kubor ka Batesi TV. Lawan da Shapi da ka Orange Nissan Loom Sopo near Fire Brigade Shillong.
Ka Seng Congress ka balasong ka Jingyalang jong ka Congress Legislatures Party haka khat pratri gubnai nai lar arajar arpuai kala shimya ka rai bakan sapha ka jingtho shabaro ki Seng Saiñpyrthei ki bi Treilang hapo ka Sarkar Meghalaya Democratic Alliance bakin shimrai da ka wai ka sur halor ka jinglong jingman jong ka shongsuk shongsang hapo ka nongba shalong hadin ka jingsha siat yap jong uba Chesterfield thank you ubalong nongelam barim jong ka Sengking atiar balasha khain bean ka hanyotrap National Liberation Council kabala jia ha ka khatlai tarik ubnai nailar arajar arpuai hayeng sa jong u kabadan hamaulai kenton masar unong ilam jong ka Congress Legislatures Party Dr. Mukul sangma habaya keren mat kilat pathai khubor ulia thoru baka jingelang kalapan paru ye ka jing sngokhia halor ka jing bam danshu ka jing shngan jong ki pajba hapo ka jing sinsar jong ka sarkar bamenta hapo ka jingelam jong ukonrat sangma.
Today in the CLP we dwelt at length on the prevailing situation which we are all witnessing and the overall situation which unfolded because of the government's lack of focus and failure to understand their priorities. On a number of occasions, you will appreciate and recollect, the opposition has tried to draw the attention of the government and tried to prevail upon the government, not just once, not just inside the house, but even outside the house. We have tried to convince the government to take cognizance of challenges which have been confronting the state. And also, particularly on the law and order front, how the peace that we have restored in the long run. We appreciate the fact that people from across the state extended their cooperation, were part of the whole exercise, collective exercise to restore peace in the state in the past. And this peace that we are talking about that has been restored didn't happen just like that. It's a hard-earned peace. Now we have always talked about restoring peace and normalcy because that is prerequisite for our development, progress and prosperity. The lack of development and anything that dislocates the progress and prosperity of the state will have a negative bearing on the state, has lots of negative ramification on the people of the state, particularly the youth, because absence of opportunities, if no opportunities are in sight for the youth, then we're talking about the mind game, how human psychology is affected. We try to motivate the youth, encourage them to set their respective goal and respective agenda in life, set their ambition in life, and therefore the challenges of creating an enabling environment for allowing our youth to realize their full potentialities and achieve their dreams. That's a crucial responsibility of any government. And in absence of that, irrespective of where we are, like when we say we restore peace, with great difficulty, to sustain them becomes difficult. The vulnerability of our state of Meghalaya to slip back and be inflicted by problems of militancy, insurgent activities must be understood. We must understand the complexities associated with not just restoring peace and normalcy, but maintaining it and sustaining it. We were seeing it happen, that the peace that has been restored, the normalcy that has been restored and brought back, But slipping back, have we not warned the government number of times? Were we playing it to the gallery? No. We said we mean it because the interest of the state, the larger good of the people must precede everything else and nothing else. Our agenda must revolve around how we can collectively look at fulfilling the aspirations of the people. And when peace becomes elusive, it's going to be very difficult. I want to express our collective concern today that the CLP had this collective concern that the government of the day is responsible in compromising the interests of the state because of shifting their priorities and ultimately putting the state in this kind of precarious situation. The state has gone to the dogs. Now it's the responsibility of each one of us, particularly the political parties who have their respective representatives in the August House, to come together and put our heads together, discuss, and see how we can save the state. We have to look at the interests of the people, the larger good of the people. The interest of the state precedes everything else. I have shared this concern and this message also, trying to reach out to our friends in other political parties in the state, who are part of the partners in the coalition government, the MDA government. Now we would like to therefore make a clarion call to all concerned, including the people of the state and the members representing the civil society organizations, to play productive and effective role in our bid to contribute to achieve the objective of saving the state. I am telling you, once again, I have told it earlier, on behalf of the CLP, on behalf of my colleagues and friends, on behalf of people who share the same concern, that if we don't act to ensure that there is a new dispensation who will be vested with the responsibility of governance, the destruction of the state will be complete then. We will allow further deterioration of the situation. We will end up seeing the state inflicted with irreversible problems, the problems which will be difficult to be resolved. We are already late. I think the scene around us, what we have seen in the recent past until the Independence Day, only reflect about what we are talking. It actually just is just something which has, I must say, because of the circumstances, we were able to know what is happening. But the undercurrent, which was known to us, we have shared with the government. That's the reason why we say we were asking the government, the chief minister, who should be actually calling number of meetings, particularly the meeting of the State Security Commission. Why was it? Why was it? It was not because we were trying to play to the gallery. No, we meant business. We knew what was happening. And I'm sure the chief minister should be knowing more than what we know, because that is how the people who are in the helm of affairs of governance are expected to have access to all inputs, multiple inputs. And therefore, friends, it's a matter of concern for each one of us. Today, I'm afraid that if we allow this chalta hai attitude, the government with this chalta hai attitude to carry on, we will have a future that none of us would like to witness. A future where you will have lawlessness, a future where people will have no reason to find any hope. What is required today is to ensure that a ray of hope is made visible to the youth of the state, to the people of the state, to people belonging to all walks of life, and create an environment where we have reasons to believe that there is an opportunity for each one of us, each member of the society across the state. And therefore there is a reason to come together and ensure peace, restore peace, and sustain peace. In absence of this visible collective endeavor coming from all of us, and hope to fulfill the aspirations eluding the people, will have serious negative ramifications in the future of the state. We would like to condemn the manner in which the issue was handled, the manner in which the alleged fact encounter has taken place. Because this also has a very, I must say, serious ramification for the future of the state. Dealing with the problems of law and order, militancy, and insurgency is a very, I must say, it's a very challenging task. The problem itself is a complex problem. Therefore, you need a team which is completely focused, where the priority of dealing with these challenges cannot be superseded by other priorities. Today we have a situation where the government is there, but there is no governance. There is government, but there is no governance. We are surprised to see how the government tend to create a vacuum, a perceived vacuum, that the government tries to send a message that there is no home minister. We know who is the home minister, and we also saw from the media that the home minister wanted himself to be relieved from the portfolio of home police. That's all we know. But we don't know whether home portfolio which was proposed or requested to be relieved from him, whether the chief minister has acceded and relieved him and vested the portfolio with himself, or to have allocated the portfolio to somebody else. As of now, we know that there has been no reshuffling of the portfolio. No reshuffling. But we are surprised that somebody is refusing to act. That means they want to shrug off the very important responsibility. The important responsibility of dealing with this crucial department, home police. This is I mean, this cannot be something which can be expected to be part of the narrative also. We don't expect this type of strategy adopted by people in government. Affairs of governance is not something which should be taken as, okay, if I want to do, I will do, if I don't want to do, I don't do. The call of duty. When they are in position, they also have the responsibility. The responsibility which should supersede everything else. So this is something which speaks volumes of the intent of the government of the day. They want to push the responsibility from one another and try to escape themselves from the kind of responsibility. These are condemnable. These are not acceptable. They must take responsibility for everything. Everything that has happened. Even the failure to know that some subversive activities was going to happen. To prevent any instance of any IED blast. Yes, preventive measures. Only when it has gone beyond their capacity to handle, they woke up. They woke up. When somebody is in deep slumber and suddenly he wakes up, he doesn't know what was happening around. That's how human behavior works. That's why I used to tell sometimes when my TSO in the car is dozing off, I said, hello, if something happens on the road, you'll suddenly wake up and won't know what to do. So the government was caught while it was in deep slumber. So they didn't know how to handle the situation. Suddenly the Home Minister also finds it too hot and dropped it, and said, no, I don't want to handle it because it's too hot. This is how one wants to take responsibility of governing the state. Is it a joke? Friends, therefore, we must correct our way forward. We have to realign our thinking, which should revolve around protecting the interests of the state, which should revolve around assuming upon ourselves the responsibility of protecting the interests of the state, protecting the interests of the people, and do what is for the larger good of each and every member of the society, each and every citizen of the state. We would like to appeal to all the citizens of our beautiful state. Let us not allow the state to slip back. We have restored peace. We have brought back normalcy. There has been momentum of growth and development that has been generated over the preceding years. Though this has been dislocated as of now, it's our job to restore it. And it should be considered as the responsibility of each one of us. So today the CLP collectively appeal to all our beloved citizens to contribute in their respective capacities for restoring normalcy and restoring peace and sustaining the peace. I have always said restoration, which is an offshoot of a collective hard work, must be sustained. Therefore, sustaining it in the best interest of our children and grandchildren and the future generations should be our responsibility. So just because the government has messed up, we should not allow the state to suffer. We should not allow our people to suffer. What is required is only to correct. Friends, I have always shared this concern. What happens if the state sinks? We all sink. We all sink. It is my state, it is your state, it's our state. We have to protect this. We cannot allow this state to sink, because then we all will sink. Our message is very clear. On behalf of the CLP and on behalf of all our people who have thrown their support, goodwill behind us, we'll be writing to all the leaders of the political party who are in the government to put our heads together and look at how we can set the stage, how we can set the interests of the people, and how we can best serve the people. And that can happen only when there is a course correction. Otherwise, what we have seen is what we all see now. See, one thing is very important. We have demanded an independent inquiry. An independent inquiry which should enable us to have a complete transparency on the circumstances which led to that unfortunate incident. Now, when we are asking for an independent inquiry, that means we want the truth. And based on that, further course of action as per law must follow. Unfortunately, I have been following the news. The Chief Minister is already trying to influence the whole process of inquiry even before the notification to have that kind of independent inquiry. For that matter, a judicial inquiry has been notified. Nobody should try to influence the course of investigation if we want the truth to come out. We want the truth, based on which other course of action as per law should follow. The other micromanagement and other aspects, which is the job of the government, we will not dwell on this. Other micromanagement. Certain job which comes with the chair that they occupy, that means the responsibility which comes with the position, they must fulfill. That's a call of duty. And if they can't fulfill those responsibilities, if they don't know how to respond to the call of duty, then it's their job to quit. The state's interest precedes everything else, supersedes everything else. Nobody's interest should supersede the interest of the people, interest of the state. Under the present incumbent government, is it in the safe hands? Is it in the safe hands? If it is in the safe hand, if they are saying that yes, you are in the safe hand, if they can convince us, convince the people, let them tell us. But as far as we are concerned, we know that the state is not in safe hands. The state has already slipped back from the normalcy and peace that has been restored. Everybody is seeing it. The people who are in the government also are seeing it. You have to ask the Chief Minister what is happening, what is the magnitude, the gravity of the problem in respect of the situation which revolves around the question of normalcy and peace. You have to go further and be more inquisitive. Ask him. I have said earlier, I have shared with all of you. I have spoken to the people of the state, through all of you, about the problem that is already there. I know it. Chief Minister should be knowing more than me, because he has the command over all the authorities, all the agencies under their command. So even if after knowing all these things, if he is not acting for correcting things, that means his priority is not there. His concern is not there. I have to start asking questions whether he has the interest to serve the state or not, or is he engaging in something else by using the position that he holds as Chief Minister. What is the priority? If there are so many challenging issues which need to be attended to, and the government refuses to attend to, dismissing the government is not the ultimate solution. Question of, let us be blunt, since we are saying that the state is not in safe hands, I have given you an example of a reckless driver. Would you like to see? When somebody is driving and then he is not listening to you, your palpitation is going up, and then so you need to change the driver. Save the state. Not for the interests of Mukul Sangma or the members of the CLP, in the larger interests of the people of the state. To protect the interests of the state. The interests of the state, interests of the people should supersede everything else. Nothing else should supersede the interests of the state. Now here, please remember one thing. The present incidents that has taken place, the unfortunate alleged fact encounter resulting in killing of one of the top leaders of HNLC, who has, on good faith, based on the outreach made by the government, came and surrendered and wanted to be part of the national mainstream. Now, what is the fallout of this kind of development? What is the message that is being sent? The credibility of any government, the system which represents the government, is very crucial and important. There should not be any instance through an action of the government which should undermine the credibility of the system of a government, undermine the credibility of a government. It's not for today only, it's for the future. You cannot say that the state will not be confronted by these kind of challenges in the future. We have been confronted in the past. We have overcome those challenges. We still will have to prepare to face challenges. And when we face challenges, we must be able to overcome those challenges. And there are methodology, there are systems which is accepted. And those systems revolves around trust and confidence. Now, at any point of time in future, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now, what has happened on the 13th will be spoken about. There will be hundreds of questions. Can we trust? Can we have the confidence on the system? That's why I'm saying that destruction is complete. It has got huge meaning, friends. Please understand. This state is very vulnerable. I have said this number of times in Delhi when we have meeting of internal security. These are frontier states. Northeast, you have a supermarket where sophisticated arms and ammunition are available. The moment you have money, you can buy any kind of sophisticated arms and ammunition. This is what is the reality in Northeast. Everyone knows it. Delhi knows it. I know it. The Chief Minister knows it. Therefore, we have to be prepared to face challenges in future. But we must know how to overcome those challenges. We must be prepared. But the way they have destroyed this state, I am telling you, it will be very difficult for future. Therefore, to reinstill the confidence amongst the people, to generate that kind of, that we condemn people who breach the trust and confidence. Please don't go by that. What has happened in 2021 on the August 13th. Don't go by that. But go by what is the collective wisdom which govern us and govern our action. So friends, it's not something which should be taken lightly. If our friends think that, okay, we are good, happy because we are in the government, with a complete disregard to the fallout of what has happened, and we don't know what more mistakes they will do. Every day, something or the other. There are so many problems. You have no space to talk on other issues because it will dilute this particular crucial matter.